Well, hey everybody. So glad you could join me today. I wanted to show you these two awfully cute dresses that you can make out of a very simple basic pattern. That's the good news. The bad news is I don't have the pattern available for you to purchase as of yet, and I haven't seen any dresses similar to this anywhere. But I'm going to show you how I made them. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. And it's a really cool lesson actually on how to create a ruffle, make a basic dress, see that it's not that hard. And the white dress, I was running low on fabric, so I made that actually out of an old tablecloth. And the red and white and pink and white gingham, of course, I got that from the store. So let's get started. For the bodice portion of the dress, I'm not only am I cutting out two from the pattern from the fabric itself, I'm also cutting a lining out of some white cotton fabric. So it'll be lined in white on the inside of the dress, and then the bodice part will be the checkered, the gingham colored fabric. Now for the main portion of the dress, I'm using this pink gingham fabric, and I've laid out my pattern piece. And for the ruffle, I've got my strip of ruffle that I'm going to use, and I'm going to make it out of the red and white gingham. So it'll be a red and white bodice. The midsection of the dress will be the pink gingham, and then the ruffle will be the red and white gingham. Okay, just want to make sure you can see all of this. Okay, once you have your bodice piece all cut out and you have your two pieces of fabric together, the right sides of your fabric together, you want to stitch all the way around here, and then you want to stitch all the way around the armhole, and then you're going to turn it inside out, and we'll see what happens next. So basically, you want to take your bodice piece and turn it inside out, and now you're going to iron it, and we'll see the shape take place. Okay, because these are going to be your shoulders, and maybe just now I'm going to put some spray starch on this so it'll really take shape. Oops, try not to burn myself. So you want to be sure you press this down these seams, and it's much easier to work with. You've got to pretty much have your nice handy dandy hot iron available. Yes, you want to make sure you have your iron nice and hot and available while you're sewing this particular item, because as you see, everything starts to take shape. And once again, you guys know I am a firm believer in things being easy to make. Otherwise, I get totally bored and frustrated and disgusted and just end up with a whole bunch of fabric scraps in my closet. So I want to make sure I iron this so those seams are all nice and pretty. This is going to look so professionally done by the time you're done with it. People are not going to believe you actually made it yourself. So just going to iron all of this out. Iron the neckline here. Get that shoulder seam. This is going to be really cute dress for a little girl. I suppose you could make this in a larger size, but we'll see what patterns I come up with for us grown-up girls. But that's a little bit further down the road. And once again, this is a pattern of my own creation, and hopefully by December 2012, you'll be able to order it online and make it yourself. And just gonna lay this down together so this matches up. And a little more ironing. And a little more ironing here. If you make sure at this point that your armholes line up, that's half the battle. I promise you. This is so easy and simple and quick. You can do this in less than a couple of hours. Once you get the hang of it, you'll see how quickly it goes. Okay, so there we have it. The bodice piece is done. This is the front. This is the back. And as you can see, the back, one of the back pieces overlap, which is okay, because now I'm going to stitch these closed, these two edges here. I'm going to stitch them closed, turn them inside out and iron them. Then we're going to stitch up our side pieces. So let me do that and then I'll come back and show you. This is the back. They're going to overlap a little bit, which is okay. We're going to stitch up these two inside pieces in a minute, and then we'll iron them out. And we're also going to stitch these edge pieces together. And this is what your front looks like. So as you can see, it's really starting to take shape and look like a bodice for a dress. Okay, as you can see, I pinned these edges down and the back together to make sure that I have enough space here to put my buttons or snaps. But I'm going to take these pins out and show you what I did. Okay, I stitched those open seams, remember those? I stitched them together, stitched it closed, turned it inside out, and now the back part looks excellent so far. Just going to press it down, help it keep its shape. I really hate ironing, but when you're sewing, you gotta have it available. Okay, and then I did the same thing with the other side. Now what I did with these edges, I just stitched straight along, and now I'm just gonna flip it inside out. So these seams are gonna be on the inside of your bodice. And we're gonna use our handy dandy iron again. And once again, you wanna make sure you get a little bit of overlap right here. A little more spray starch. You can also wash this as soon as you're done making it to get out some of the spray starch, but it's real important to press and be able to see your shape as you're going along. Okay, now we're just about ready to add the middle portion of our dress. Okay, as you can see, we're getting it all together. You've got your bodice piece finished. You attached your ruffle to your centerpiece. You made your ruffles. And don't worry if they're not perfect, because you can do this. Do not be afraid of ruffles. And next thing we're going to do, we're going to attach these two pieces together, and you're almost done. I told you this was easy.